Hello, welcome. I got. What do I got? One a.m. I got 2.5 hours to play 14 before it's gone for a day. Patch update. Patch day. So, yeah, here we go. We might be waiting a while before Rodlia finally decides to wake up. But not so long that you've got time to flit away on some other adventure. Come join me in my quarters and we can ask her a few questions as soon as she's ready to talk. Oh, there we go. Might as well make yourself comfortable while we wait on Rodlia. Besides, after fighting through them ruins, I'll wager you could use the rest. Where is the rest of my crew? Surely there were other survivors. Tell me, Valdia, what drove you to risk exploring Old March? The compass sent you right there, aye, but you were after the Void Ark. You knew something, didn't you? I found a book. We were looting these strange ruins in the Sea of Clouds, and one of the lads dug up a tome. It had passages that described the Void Ark and a powerful relic called the Null Stone. A tome scribed by a Maki sorcerer, mayhap. Captain, would you happen to know the author of this work? The words are muddled by obscuring magics, and 1500 years have faded its pages. There is much that remains illegible, but what little my darling cutthroats and I could decipher suggests it was written by a mage of exceptional status. See for yourself. If what the book says is true, the Ark is a source of immeasurable power. With that ship under my command and the mysteries of Mach in my possession, I had thought to crown myself Queen of the Skies. And look how well that turned out. What manner of sky pirate, what manner of queen can't even keep her own crew alive? Ahem. Broadly, is it not? Would I be correct in assuming that you seek revenge against the Void Son who slaughtered your comrades? Of course I want revenge. That hell's spawn, shite grobber, killed my crew. If he were here right now, I'd gouge out his eye and choke him to death with my bare bloody hands. You are not alone in your desire to bring an end to these abominations, Captain. Will you not join us in our endeavor to secure peace for the skies? Will you not join the Talon's strength to ours? What strength? The way things are right now, I doubt I could keep the peace in a monastery. This has not to do with personal grudges either. I just don't have the men. All my best fighters died in the ruins, and the dregs that are left are scarce and sharp enough to be called talons. Did you leave your spine back in them ruins, Rodlia? You've had your wings clipped and no mistake, but that's no reason to give up the life. I thought we'd rescued a sky pirate, not some cur that turns tail when her backpack ain't there to bite for her. Ugh. I know what you're trying to do, Red Bill, but I've lost my taste for glory. You can have your cursed Burke. I just be sure to make sure the bastard pay. Hey, Furball, how quickly do you think you can decipher that ratty old tome? I need you to figure out exactly how your relic works. Aye, you sent that one fiend squealing in fear, but that ain't enough. From what you've told me, we'll need to aim for some of that obliteration if we're going to take on the Shadow Queen. The rest of you, put everything you've got into what you do best, be that research or blade work. Overdoing it is doing it just right, if you get my meaning. I'll decorate my walls with void sent heads if I have to. The sky should belong to no one. The nullstone hath fallen into mortal hands. 1,000 apologies, Lord Diablos. I shall personally wring each and every one of their scrawny necks. The time for skulking in shadows hath ended. I am grown weary of these meddling vermin. The power of the Shadow Queen waxeth full. Soon mine ardent desire shall pass from dream into dark reality. Yo, Katsith has just sent me out to find you. You've a proper knack for showing up at just the right time, you know that? Anyway, Kate says cracked open that tome what we got from Radia and has been studying all the Nullstone secrets. He thinks he may be onto something important, not just concerning concerning Diablos and the Shadow Queen, but also the cat himself. Come on back to the Parrock, and we can all hear what he has to say together. You don't need me to remind you how to reach Parrock, do you? It's just a short flight from the Standard here. Thanks for coming. Now let's ask Scaith what it's all about. Thank the winds you're here at last. The Furball refused to share until you'd arrived. Kate Sith has had the darkest look on his face. As I suspected, this tome was penned by a Maki sorcerer of superior standing, as well as detailing the methods by which the full power of the Nullstone might be unleashed. Its pages also contain a number of revelations concerning my master, High Void Mage Caesar. If these histories are to be trusted, then it seems that Caesar herself was responsible for summoning Diablos. But I thought you said that your master was opposed to supporting the war effort. Why would she be the one to call up that bat-winged monster? Caesar only agreed to the ritual as a means to bring the conflict to an early resolution. From what I can glean from these passages, Diablos was intended as a bluff, a threat that was never to be exercised. But those arrogant imbeciles ignored my master's carefully laid restrictions and elected to unleash the fiend upon and the poor. It was when Caesar moved to protest this act that she was branded a traitor and imprisoned. Once they had contained the opposition, the Void Mages studied all manner of otherworldly arts and at the lone feet of their new pet, the most dangerous of which was the rite of summoning Scotch and the method for chaining her power. Yet, even after all they had perpetrated, these ambitious fools had the gall to come crawling to Caesar when the coming of the Great Flood was predicted. They begged her to take control of the Void Ark for the salvation of the Mach people. As you saw for yourself, however, the energies of the Shadow Queen broke loose and turned the vessel into a derelict nest of void sent. It seems obvious now that the arts taught by Diablos were deliberately flawed. The only saving grace in all this madness was when that damnable fiend was sealed away by the white mages of Andapor. I shudder to think what would have happened had he been reunited with his queen. So now, 1500 years later, Diablos is looking to finish what he started. I thought the bat-faced bastard was just some opportunistic underling, but it turns out he's the main villain behind this whole mess. Were Caesar alive today, she would accept responsibility for unleashing Diablos upon the world. As the High Void Mage Familiar, it is my duty to act in her stead. I have deciphered the secrets of the Nullstone, and with its undiluted power I erase Diablos from existence. Heh. I like your spirit, Puss, but try not to rush in too quickly, eh? Getting yourself killed won't do us or your master any good. Wait. No one's rushing in anywhere just yet, or have you forgotten that we're still in the middle of scouting out the field's lair? We've got the compass to go by, but who knows what kind of place it'll lead us to, or how many demons will be lying in wait when we get there. We fly in with our eyes open, or risk getting slaughtered just like the Talons. Oh, yes, speaking of which, the tome made mention of a potential location for... Leofard. Ouch. He's behind you. Yeah, curse you, fiend. At long last. This is far from over, demon. We'll not allow an abomination like the Shadow Queen to rule this world. Then thou knowest not of ruling, it is might which decideth dominion. But believe what thou mayest, frail creature, your playthings, your screams of denial shall amuse me as I send this rock and all upon it to shatter upon the ground below. Gods, is that Radia? Where's she been hiding that shit? I would not tire my arm with the swatting of so many flies. The nullstone is mine, and there's yet much to be done. How are there still so many Talons? I thought they were massacred at Mach. I ain't a healer, but I'd say you've broken your arm, a couple of ribs and bruises, half your innards. We need to get you some splints and bandages. The loss of the nullstone is on my head, and I shall see that we win it back. Would you look at that sorry excuse for a sky pirate? I knew Redbill and its ragtag crew wouldn't be trusted with saving the skies. Consider our debt to you repaid. Well, ain't I a lucky sod? 2 demons in one day. Found some new dogs to lick your boots, Radia? Is that any way to welcome me back to the life? You needed allies, and persuading our reluctant fellows to join in common purpose is a feat only a woman of my charming beauty could accomplish. And besides, you look too injured to be of much use to anyone. You'd best take to your bed, old man, and let me and your champion take care of the void scent. What? So you can tuck tail and run again at first sign of trouble? You'd not even be standing there if it weren't for me. And even with me arm busted up, I'm still twice the pirate you are. Nay, I think you should stay behind this time, Leofard. We must pursue Diablos without you. Time is of the essence, and we cannot afford to wait for you to heal. We must take advantage of Captain Raldia's reinforcements and proceed with all haste. Did the demon drop you on your head, Furball? Without me there to run things, you'll just end up getting in Yale's way. And no one's making haste anywhere until we know what we're flying into. Again, Captain Raldia may hold the answer to that dilemma. I suspect that the island where she uncovered the Mach-E stone is the very location where Diablos has chosen to lair. This floating marvel I speak of is not of a natural occurrence. It was constructed as a haven for refugees of the floods. The tome makes very clear reference to the island's purpose and describes in detail the void-sent sorcery employed in its creation. As the Void Ark never arrived at its destination, however, the island remained uninhabited. I can imagine no more suitable hideaway for our scheming friend. Even better, Diablos will not expect us to suddenly arrive on his secluded doorstep. The Talon feet will carve us a path through the lesser fiends, and we shall strike swiftly into the heart of the confusion to seize the nullstone. Once the relic is secured, I will use its power to obliterate our devilish foe. As a sky pirate, surely you understand how such an assault relies on speed and surprise. We cannot have a wounded companion slow us down and potentially doom the entire enterprise. So, you think you're in charge now, do you, Puss? Poor broken Leofard's just some dead weight you need to cut away. You know what? I've had a belly full of your mewling in any case. Go on, fly off without me and see how far you get with your thrice damned Enterprise. Captain Radia, compare the direction indicated by the ectocompass with your navigational records, if you please. I think we'll find the coordinates coincide with the island in question. Certainly, and feel free to board our flagship when you're set to depart. My darling's large enough to accommodate your adventurer and her fellows with room to spare. Kate Sith was only talking common sense. The captain took it hard, but I think he knows it too. We're doing the right thing leaving him behind, aren't we? This is the way it must be. Considering our needs for haste and the extent of Leofard's injuries, my conclusion was merely logical. Captain Redbill's primary concern should be securing the freedom of the skies, not limping into almost certain death at the hands of the Void Scent, no matter how much he chafes at being excluded from the voyage. I acquired our splendid flagship after the Ishgardians saw fit to abandon her. I hear she was an attempt to match the airborne agility of their dragon enemies, but the vessel never did live up to their expectations. When she passed to me, we replaced all their improvements with structural reinforcements and made ourselves a flying fortress. Our stately lass will not soon be knocked from the sky. Don't you worry, I'll keep an eye on the captain while everyone is off on this grand adventure. Without him, are you certain you don't need me to go with you? This adventure is all yours, Yo. I'll be cheering for you from the sickbed like a good little pirate, promise. Those damn demons think they can just fly in and start smashing up the place. Well, we'll show them not to mess with the Red Bills. Jesus. That was so lucky. Ow. Shit. Come on, man. There we go. Okay. Good shit. Do not relax your guard yet, yo. The air is still heavy with his foul presence. Already taken care of the fiend, have you? And you didn't even need that dusty old relic to do it. Be careful, Captain. Diablos yet lurks in the shadows. Oh shit. Oh shit. Finally have I claimed the Shadows Queen's power for mine own, yet still am I harried by your noisome weevils. I must needs quit this realm for a time, and when I have grown accustomed to my newfound might, there shall be a reckoning for your insolence. This ain't the time for napping, Furball. You still got a job to do. Okay, well that's cool. Aye, my work here is unfinished. In Caesar's name I unmake thee, Diablos. My master's will be done. God, for 15 centuries yet I yearned for this power. Thou can't unmake me. No, no. I should have known we were wasting our breath. The captain only heeds the siren in his heart, and damn the consequences. I told you you'd be lost without me, didn't I? And look at you, puss, getting knocked out cold in your moment of glory. You weren't like to get another chance to honor your master's memory, and you almost missed it. But I suppose you pulled through at least at the last. I'll give you that much. Okay. How vexing to once again be rescued by Red Bill. He'd better recover from those injuries so we can go back to hatching each other on equal footing. The plan was a resounding success, though it did require some intervention on Leoford's part. I am afraid I misjudged his commitment to our cause. Well, I think he'll live, which is surprising considering he crashed his ship into a bloody demon. Damn fool. Spare me your concern and your lectures. You all knew I wasn't like to stay abed with such a grand adventure in the making, and I'd rather break every bone in my body than be stripped of the freedom to go where I please. Besides, all's well that ends well, eh? Diablos is dead and we're all alive. That counts as a victory in my book. It's just a pity that it cost me the Ramily in the doing of it. I hope she rests easy on that island refuge. Me goggles are a mess, but I can always get me a new pair of goggles and a new airship. I suppose we should be glad we didn't lose aught else after diving headlong into a void-sent nest. Now that we've taken the skies back, it's time we're taking our leave. The Talons and the Red Bills can kiss this brief alliance farewell, unless, of course, you're interested in a more permanent arrangement. Your bootlickers might think your voice a siren song, but it grates me ears like a harpy's screech. No, this is the first and last time we fly together. We're back to being rivals, the way it's always been. You are a very stubborn man, Red Bull, but you do well to remember, I always get what I want in the end. Head back to me quarters and see the Furbol's hurts. I'll be along in a bit. I feel so foolish, yo. I demanded that Leoford remain behind only to have him rescue my mission from certain failure. A failure that would have made mock of your heroic efforts as well. You are too kind. Ah, what world exists that can properly express my contribution? I know not how to even begin making my apologies. I should like to approach the captain, but he has the air of a man who seeks solitude. 'Tis strange to see him so melancholy. Could it be the loss of the Ramel which troubles him so? Nay, I shan't intrude upon his contemplation with clumsy questions and trite platitudes. Let us leave him be for the moment. Step up the pace, you sluggers. Let's leave this rock behind and get to celebrating the return of the Talons. Go on ahead without me, I won't be long. I heard the Ramilly was an unsalvageable wreck. She was a fine vessel, built to endure the captain's reckless flying style, and it seems she kept him safe until her very end. Such a shame. I told you we'd take care of them fiends. We ought to crack open a few casks and celebrate. I hear the captain's up to his usual tricks again, ignoring sound advice and risking certain death and all that. He might have saved his scaith from a void-sent invasion, but poor Stacy is going to lose her mind if he keeps on like this. The captain is not his usual bombastic self. Mayhap Stacia can enlighten us as to the source of this uncharacteristic malice. Mistress Stasia, if I might ask you a question, do you know the cause of the captain's melancholy? Is it because of the Ramilly? Pray tell me if it is so. I cannot help but feel responsible for the vessel's destruction, and I would better understand Leofard's present distress. If you really want to understand, I suppose I should start with how the captain was orphaned as a child. As matters turned out, he was taken in by a high-born widow who raised him as her son. From what Leofard has told me, his adopted mother was a kind, quiet-spoken woman, but due to some illness or other, she was rarely able to venture outside. Instead, she spent hours reading to her boy from a library well stocked with books from faraway lands. Leofard cared for her as her malady grew worse by the day, and he was there by her side when death finally carried her away to Thal halls. While she was alive, she never did ask much of him. Not long before she passed on, however, she wrung from him one single promise, that he escape the conformity she had always endured and live his life as free as a bird. As you've likely guessed, her name was Ramil. That's her portrait there hanging on the wall. Ah, this explains much. I had wondered as to the origin of his vessel's naming. The Sky Pirate's way is the life Leofard chose for himself, but I like to think he named his ship the Ramil so that his mother would be there to watch over all of his adventures. Since when were you so loose-lipped about a comrade's private past, Stacia? I ain't in the habit of leaning on people's sympathies, so you can all keep that tidbit to yourselves, eh? And I thought I told you to see to the Furbol's wounds. Look at your cape, puss. It's in tatters. Come here a moment. A scarf? For me? Aye. That's a little present we give to every new Red Bull. Ramil taught me that it's not protecting memories that's important, it's having the strength to follow your path and make those memories in the first place. Seeing how determined you were to clean your master's slate, I'd say you'd fit right in with our crew. Listen, if you're thinking that little airship meant a lot to me, then you'd be right. But I'd rather mourn a hunk of metal than lose them as can share in me highs and lows. So let's get this straight, puss. There's no need for apologies. A Sky Pirate makes his choice, and he sticks by it. The life of a Sky Pirate, as I seem to be bereft of both place and purpose now, I suppose I shall accept your offer. I am yours to command, Captain. Glad to hear it. Your first duty is to join us in giving our adventurer here a proper send-off. Well, it's about buddy time you two saw eye to eye, but honestly, Captain, you don't mean to head out in those rags, do you? Let's get you cleaned up as well before we say our fond farewells. Did you see? Scaith is wearing a red bill's scarf. Isn't that just wonderful? For 15 centuries did I wander in the dark alone. To be surrounded by companions and given a new hearth to call home fills me with a warmth I had almost forgotten was possible. We've a spare airship the captain can use for now until he feels ready to build a new one. It's time we parted ways, yo. Let's give you an escort down to Coldwind. That was some adventure, yo, but our journey into the unknown is over. For the now. When the sky split out some new mystery, you can bet that I'm coming to find you. After all, there ain't nobody else who handles the unexpected quite like you. I adventure and the heady rush of danger. Surely in this life there is no greater reward. Excuse me. would cover it up anyway. Still, it's cool. Did you know that Leoford hoards all the gold and gaudy trinkets from his escapades, but simply sells the precious scrolls and tomes to the highest bidder? The man has no concept of true value. I'm glad scaith decided to join the Red Bills. It's always wonderful to make new allies, especially ones so eager to share ideas about engineering. I was in Idleshire a while ago to trade and got to talking with one of the goblin merchants. When I mentioned your adventures with the captain, he was excited to know all about you. He even gave me a discount. I ain't never seen anyone able to rile up the captain quite so much as that little scaith. It's a bloody talent, I tell you. As punishment for sneaking out of his sickbed, we put the captain on the roster for deckhand duties. He was meant to take a turn at the watch, do the laundry, check the sailcloth and swab the floors, and managed to wriggle out of every single one of them. I hear the Talons are off pillaging some uncharted reach of the heavens. We'll have to put on our treasure hunting hats if we're to stay ahead of Raldia. Can't let them have all the fun. There ain't been much excitement to speak of since we last flew together. Aye, the dull periods make the adventures that much more enjoyable, but I can feel more of me skills fading away the longer I sit idle. Alright. I got all the cheap minions. Cool. That was a fun 10th anniversary. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.